Shalom, shalom. I'm your brother Kaya from Jimmy's Camp out here in Phoenix, Arizona. First and foremost, is I want to give us all praise, glory, and honor. It's to Yahweh, Ba'Shem, Yahushai, Ba'Shem, Rahakadash. Of course, I want to give double honors to the apostles and elders that have taught us this truth and rule well. Also want to say shalom to the 144,000. Also want to say shalom to the speckled bird out there, even though you may look like the heathen, but are not the heathen. Also want to say shalom to the Akwath and to the Akim. You know, this food stamp situation is going everywhere. And, you know, we've been seeing uproars of, you know, many people, especially, you know, women. You know, this is going to affect a lot of people. Now, we don't know how long, you know, Trump is going to do this, you know, having the government shut down. Also, you know, having people where they can't get their government assistance to say. You know, at the end of the day, I mean, you know, people have been sitting high on the hog lately, and they falling off. See, the scripture's going to, man, you what is it? You're in the hands of a cruel Lord, basically. This man don't care if you eat, drink, or whatever. And, you know, we don't know how long this is even going to go on. But this, like I said earlier, this is going to affect a lot of people. And things are going to get worse. You know, Yahweh Ba'Shem Shah spoke of a time that will come into a famine. And the time that we come into a famine again, it'll be worse than 70 AD. A whole lot worse than that. Matter of fact, you know, it was just a few scriptures I wanted to get. And the first scripture I wanted to get in on this was 2nd Ezra, because these are the things that are about to take place. You know, shortly now, we can say this. Now, he may leave, you know, the SNAP benefits off now. Maybe in December, maybe in January, cut them back on. But at the end of the day, a famine will come. There's going to be a time where a famine will hit because Yahweh Ba'Shem Shah said it will. Matter of fact, let's go ahead and get a few scriptures, right? So the first scripture I want to get is in 2nd Ezra. And see what I was, hold on, let me see something. And see, this here is in Arizona. You know where I'm at. You know, news, the Arizona Department of Economic Security says it is unable to pay out SNAP benefits in November until federal funding is released to the state. And see, that's here in Arizona. And like I was saying, this is going to affect a lot of people. You know, a lot of people that's been riding on the government. We've been seeing videos, and brothers been doing videos on many people, women really complaining about how am I going to feed my 7, 8 kids. Then you start hearing about they had housing, and, you know, they were paying, you know, $80 a month for a 3-bedroom home, or $600 a month for a 2-bedroom apartment, or whatever it may be, when everybody else is paying almost $2,700 to stay in a 2-bedroom apartment, $1,600 to stay in a 1-bedroom apartment. And you got in people bragging. Now they're starting to feel the heat. Now they're getting kicked out. See, Trump is not going to stop here. It ain't going to stop at the SNAP benefits, the Section 8, all that. And already we live in a time already too where jobs are scarce. So you know what you women going to start doing. You're going to be doing what you normally do now, but you're going to be doing it a whole lot more. You're going to be, you're going to be out there basically, selling yourself to say. It's going to get bad out here. It is what it is. And at the end of the day, we don't feel sorry for you. We don't feel sorry for you. The same women that scoff, mock, talk shit, and all the things they did, guess what? The rooster's coming home to roost. And see, in DT, Donald Trump is starting it. He don't give a damn. But anyway, let's get a few scriptures, right? Let's go out of here. Let's go to 2nd Ezra. Because these are the things that are going to take place. Cancel that. Matter of fact, let's go to 2nd Ezra 15. Matter of fact, we'll start at 2nd Ezra 15 and verse 18. For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. And see, this is what's coming. So think about this. If he lets this SNAP benefits and these people can't get their food stamps, they're already talking about what? Going to Walmart or any kind of grocery store, Targets, Walmarts, whatever, grabbing a whole cart full of food and running out. tearing up stuff, just running out. What do you think is going to happen next? If it continues to keep going, the B&E game, the breaking and entering. People are going to be kicking in people's doors because of the lack of bread. Salakia. These are the things that's going to happen. You know? Now, I'm not saying they're going to happen this month or next month, but guess what? These things are definitely going to happen, and they're happening. They're going to start happening on a what do you call it? On a higher rate, to say. For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the house shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. Let's go further. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods. Why? Because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. Going into what? The famine that's going to come. It's inevitable. It's going to happen. Even if DT decides, hey, well, you know what? I'm going to go ahead in December and cut on the benefits. So what? Eventually, all these things are going to take place. This is prophecy. It is inevitable. It is going to happen. Matter of fact, too, think about this. What's that scripture? The love of many. This is what's going to happen too. Because when people without food and other people are getting food, what do you think people going to do? They're going to look at people like, yeah, I got food, but you don't. The love of many shall wax cold. Matter of fact, yeah, let's get that too. What is that, Matthew? This is Matthew chapter 24. And I believe, let's see. Bear with me, Israel. I believe it's verse 12. Yep, this is Matthew 24 and verse 12. And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. And people are waxing colder and colder every day. People are talking about they don't give a damn. People don't care. They got people that mom and daddy don't care about their kids. Talking about, don't bring your ass to this house. We ain't got it. We got enough just for us. The love of many waxing cold. Think about how many families right now that are hearing that right now. Nah, you can't come back to this house. We ain't got it. Nobody told you to open your legs or do this and do that and have 7, 8 kids. Where that man at? Where your man at? Oh, she ran him off. She was snapping her neck and saying this and talking about how she didn't need a man. This, that, and the other. That man was trying to help and take care of them kids. She ran him off. Now you know what's about to happen. That man about to get his phone about to blow up. That man's phone is about to blow up. A lot of men out here that got treated like this, guess what? Them exes, guess what they gonna do? They gonna hop on them phones and they gonna be like, well, I'm sorry. No, it's too late. It's too late. Because a lot of men gonna say no. They gonna laugh in your face and they gonna hang up the phone. They're gonna remind you, remember you said you didn't need a man. You could do it all by yourself. You was Billy Badass. You had it. The love of many waxing cold. That's gonna be a whole lot of phone conversations, a whole lot of hanging up, and a whole lot of laughing. Men gonna be laughing out here, and women gonna be out here selling themselves. Anyway, let's go to another scripture, right? You see, let's go back to the Apocrypha. Back to 2nd Ezra. Matter of fact, oh man, let's get this one too. 2nd Ezra 6. Because, you know, people robbing these stores, man. And they're going to just rob and rob and rob. So, you know, when people rob stores, we all should know, you know, it's going to be a whole lot of shooting at the grocery store, outside the grocery store. People going to have their carts and people going to be shooting each other eventually for that food. You know, the time going to come with it. What is it? What is this one? Storehouses shall be found empty. Yeah, we got to get that. What is that? 2nd Ezra 6. This gonna happen too. And don't forget, I think them ships ain't coming in no more too often. You know? Anybody forget? Didn't nobody think about that? Them ships in California or them ports, them ships are not coming in like they used to with the goods. You know, these storehouses, At the end of the day, you got your Walmarts and your Trader Joe's and your Costco's and your Publix and your Kroger's and your HEB's, wherever you may be and wherever you may live. Before that food gets to that store, it's somewhere else. It's in a storehouse. And once that storehouse is empty and whatever is on them shelves is gone, it is gone. Matter of fact, 2 Ezra chapter 6 and verse 22, like I said, this is inevitable. These things are going to happen. Even if DT decides next month or the month next, he cuts it back on. Because at that time, people are going to think still they're in a good case. Matter of fact, what is that? They think they're in a good case. Victuals shall be sold cheap. Matter of fact, 2 Ezra 6 and 22. And suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown. The full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty. So let's read a little further. And the trumpet shall give a sound, which when every man heareth, they shall be suddenly afraid. What is going to happen in this time? At that time shall friends fight one against another like enemies. So now you see what's going to happen. Friends are going to fight one another like one. Salakia, getting tongue-tied. Against Salakia. Fight one against another like enemies. Remember, going back to that scripture, for the love of many shall wax cold too. So now you're going to have a famine, the lack of bread. You're going to have all these troubles. And all these people out here, guess what? That you think is your friends, you think it's family, they're going to turn your back on you. These are the things that are coming. At that time, remember this, at that time shall friends fight one against another like enemies, and the earth shall stand in fear with those that dwell therein. The springs of the fountain shall stand still, and in 3 hours they shall not run. And see, the crazy thing is, out here too, we live in the desert. I'm out here in the desert. Now, of course, I'm one of the hopeful elect. No, I ain't worried about it. These are things that Yahweh Shemiah Shah let the elect know. These are the things that's going to take place. This is going to happen. This is going to fall on 2/3 in the wicked. All this stuff. All these things that are about to come. And Yahweh Shemiah Shah is showing it right now. Matter of fact, let me get another scripture. What scripture I was thinking about? Oh, since we're in 2 Ezra. This is 2 Ezra. What does I want? 15. What do I want? Matter of fact. Oh, we can get this. 2 Ezra 15 and 5. Behold, said the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction. So now you know who's bringing it upon you. Who's bringing this upon the wicked, upon these people. Yahweh Bashmi Shai is bringing this upon all of the wicked. What did he say? Behold, saith the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction. Matter of fact, hold on. Famine. You see something? Hold on. Just hold on. Let's do this. Boom. Oh, I don't do it like it normally do. It was another one I wanted. But anyway, famine refers to a severe, widespread shortage of food that leads to malnutrition, starvation, and death. Yahweh Shemiah Shai is about to bring a lot of death. It's about to be a whole lot of stomachs touching their back pockets. A whole lot of folding like empty wallets. Whole lot of people folding like empty lawn chairs out here. And that's a bad way to die. To pine away. To pine away? That's a horrible way to go. But once again, this is for the wicked. See, at the end of the day, everything was Everything was funny, wasn't it? Everything was cookies and bubbles to say. Everything was hee hee ha ha, right? Everything was hee hee ha ha. Make fun of the prophets, scoff, mock, do all that. And guess what? All this is going to come up on you. And see, people here still don't take us serious. Still don't take the word of Yahweh Shem Yahshua serious. So when all this stuff starts to happen and all these things fall upon them, well, you know what? Matter of fact, let's get one more scripture. What scripture was I thinking? Ezekiel. You're going to be drinking, what is that? What is that? Drinking water by measure? Matter of fact, hold on. What is that? Ezekiel. This is coming too. Like I said, it's inevitable. These things are going to happen. Even somebody said, well, see, Donald Trump, he cut the food stamps back on. See, y'all were wrong. No, we ain't wrong. We ain't wrong. Y'all trust this devil so much. And the scriptures told you about trusting him. Going right back to, was that Isaiah, was that 31:1? Woe to them that go down to Egypt for help. Woe to you, destruction unto you. Matter of fact, what is this? Ezekiel 4. And we're going to get verse. Let me see. Here it is. This is Ezekiel 4 and verse 16. Moreover, he said unto me, Son of man, behold, I will break the staff of bread in Jerusalem, and they shall eat bread by weight and with care, and they shall drink water by measure and with astonishment. You understand that? When was the last time you drank water by measure? When was the last time you took a cap of a bottle of water and poured right into the cap and sipped on that, and that's all you got for the day? When have you did that? When have you just chewed the edge of the piece, chewed on a loaf of bread, on a piece of bread? All you was able to eat was the corners of the bread. That's all you could have. You need to go put the other piece back. You had to ration. Matter of fact, let's get another scripture, right? Let's get another scripture. Why you thinking you're going to be rationing and you're going to have some sustenance? Well, let's go to some scriptures tell you ain't going to have diddly squat, because you got people that are about to kick in the dough and take all your goods. This is 2nd Ezra, the 15th chapter, right? And verse 15, what does it say? For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. So people about to be out here getting busy. There gonna be people out here with bolo sticks, baseball bats, 9mm, AR-15s, shotguns, 38 snub nose, all kind of stuff, hammers, kitchen utensils, all kind of stuff. People gonna be out here killing each other, right? The sword don't mean just a katana blade, which people gonna use that too. Swords in their hands. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. The B&E game, the breaking and entering. So how you gonna have some food? Because people gonna be kicking indoors. Marauders of people will be kicking indoors. Think about these. I always say this, man. Think about these high rises that, these people live in. These real luxury high rises, these apartment complexes, the cookie cutter home. When you run out of food, what do you think people are going to do? They're going to go to the neighbor's house. And all day and all night, all you're going to hear is screaming of women and children and the gunshots and men dying too. Then eventually, what are you going to hear after that? You're going to hear barbecue pits going. You're gonna smell some stuff you ain't never smelled before. And like, man, wait a minute, that ain't chicken. That ain't a steak. That's gonna be people eating their loved ones. Yes, cannibalism is coming back. 2nd Ezra 15 and 16. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor their princes, and the course of their action shall stand in their power. They're not going to care what the government says. They're not going to care what the police say. They're not going to care what nobody says. It's going to be straight anarchy. An anarchy we've never seen before. We talk about the movie The Purge, The Road, all these different movies. To give you an idea, it's going to be 20 times 3,000, whatever number you can come up with, times horrible and worse than that. That's when Yahweh Shai said that happened once and never again. This is something new upon the earth. And there's a lot of things coming. It ain't just the famine. It ain't just the breaking and entering. It's not just the women getting ravished and the children being in crock pots and all of that. Spirits created for vengeance. It's going to be a lot of things going on. A lot of things going on. So it don't matter what the president do. If he even cut these stamps back on, it don't really matter. If he do or he don't, at the end of the day, Yahweh Shai Shai says what is going to take place. What is going to happen. You know, this wasn't meant to be very long. I was going to try to get straight to the point. But hey, this is what's coming. You know, when till that famine really hit. Man. But anyway, I'm going to say this. Hope you was edified. I'm going to give all praise, glory, and honor. It's to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Rakakadash. Shalom.